Hey there, we're Nigel and Sue, and these are our adventures. Since the beginning of 2021, we've been travelling Australia in our self-converted 4x4 Sprinter van. We've seen some amazing sights, but one place we'd really looked forward to was the heart of Australia, Uluru. We rode our bikes right round the rock. We learned about the traditional people's culture. We did an amazing hike through Kata Tjuta, otherwise known as the Olgas, and we watched the colours of Uluru change at sunset. Subscribe to our channel and join us as we visit the highlights and hidden gems of this beautiful country. Good morning! We are leaving Kings Canyon and Kings Creek Station this morning and heading for one of the most anticipated places on our trip. We're going to Uluru. Woo. So we've just been driving along. I've been busy working, editing a video, and I've just heard Nigel said, "Oh wow."
I didn't know.
He said, "Oh wow, I've just seen it." And I'm like, "What did you see, babe?"
Nothing. Nothing.
So he thought he saw Uluru because there's this massive big monolith up here. Well, it's called Mount Connor, but known affectionately as Foolaroo because it actually fools a lot of people. And the first time I came up here,
I should have known because we're bloody miles away. It's not even close, and it's on completely the wrong angle. And I've got the map here. Anyway, yeah, got me.
Don't worry, Nigel, you're not the only one to get fooled by Foolaroo. I got fooled. The first time I came here was on a tour and our tour manager tricked us. I was planning to trick Nigel, damn it, I didn't realise we were that close. I didn't even need to. So we've just pulled over. We're going to take a quick walk up. There's a little hill here we're going to walk up and we'll show you. And you can see how much Mount Connor Foolaroo looks actually like Uluru. So we're walking up this little hill just to get a quick view of Foolaroo, and the sand is like really fine red sand. Wow, what we can see here is a big salt lake with Foolaroo in the background. When you get up a lot closer, there's no way that Foolaroo would fool you, but definitely from back when you first catch that glimpse of it, it totally looks like the big rock. This is Nigel in anticipation of his first view of the real Uluru, sitting forward in his seat. The anticipation is just amazing.
I think I got a little bit of a glimpse of it, a wee flash, about a couple of kilometres ago. Oh yeah, hang on, I got another glimpse.
It's very exciting.
There she blows.
Just see the tip of it peeping over there. So we've come to Uluru for the sunset, along with how many other 100 people. So we got here fairly early.
I think it's like a smatter of rain.
And since then every parking space is filled up. It's really busy.
The weird thing was, like, when we first got here, you'd think, oh, there's way too many parking spots. Well, that's what I thought. It's not enough. It's nuts.
But it looks beautiful. Check this out. Today we're again at the beautiful Uluru. You can see it rising up majestically behind me. and we're about to go for a ride all the way around the base of Uluru, which is a distance of about 10 or 11 kilometres. You can walk it. We've chosen to ride today. I also wanted to point out, just behind me here up that spur, you might be able to see a white line. So last time I came to Uluru was in like 95 or 96, I can't remember, about 25 years ago. And I actually climbed the rock then. Ownership of the rock was given back to the Anangu people, the traditional custodians, in 1985. And for many years, they fought to have the climb of the rock closed for various reasons, primarily because the rock is sacred to them. And secondly, because when you come onto their country, they believe that they are responsible for your safety. There's been over 37 deaths, people falling from the rock, and they feel those deaths. They feel responsible for those and they grieve those deaths. Coming back here, I've had really mixed feelings. I'm so excited to be back and awed by the rock, but I am feeling quite a bit of shame over the fact that I climbed the rock back then. So I'm hoping that this journey will allow me to somehow atone, and I want to apologise to the Anangu people. It was disrespectful of us, and I own that now. And so basically I want to make amends for that, I guess, and I'm hoping to do that by learning as much about their culture as I can, which is such a fascinating culture. It's the oldest living culture in the world. So this morning we went on a walk called the Mala Walk with an Indigenous ranger. Here around the rock we were shown this morning some rock art which has been carbon dated at 20,000 years old. So that to me is just phenomenal. Anyway, we're about to jump on the bikes and head off around the base of Uluru. Let's do this.
Once around the rock.
Here we go. We've just parked up the bikes and we're going to walk now to the Kata Gorge. This is where the Mala Walk finishes up that we did this morning. We chose not to walk into the gorge at that time because there were so many people in that big group. We decided that we'd wait till this afternoon when hopefully there'd be almost no one there. By the sounds of things, I think there's not. Nigel's still got his helmet on. At the end of this gorge is this waterhole. There's really not much water in there. You can see where the water comes up to, the high water mark, but it's probably 2 metres below that line now. And the last rain they had here was in June. So these waterholes are semi-permanent. I would imagine this one is going to dry up fairly soon. A lot of people see Uluru and think that it's really smooth, but in fact it's not. And here you can see these holes and bumps and all sorts of stuff in the surface of the rock. So if you don't want to take your bike, you can either walk or take a Segway. We've just had an awesome wildlife encounter and seen a thorny devil on the trail. So big thanks to the guy that stopped and pointed him out to us. And now we're going up to the Matajulu waterhole. So we have to leave the bikes here and walk up. One of the things that we've learned about the culture here is that all of the features in Uluru have a story, and it's like the creation stories of the Anangu people, known as Chukapa. One of the things I really love about Uluru and the area and the walk is these little signboards that tell the story and explain everything, so you can look up and see all of this physical evidence. So there's the story here of Kunia, the python woman, and Lyra, the poisonous snake man. So we as Westerners look at these rocks and look at the clefts in them and the cracks and come up with some scientific reason for why they're there. And what I love about this culture is that the traditional people come up with a mythological story, and it always tends to relate to some spirit ancestors that they had. So rather than just saying, oh, the rock split because of water or erosion, it'll be something like representing a spear mark from the story. You might be able to hear these birds. They're zebra finches. There's hundreds of them around here, and they're here because of the waterhole.
It just blows your mind. And I was thinking it's a real privilege and not a right to be able to witness this place. You still can't believe I'm here.
We're currently doing the most painful
270.
fuel fill up ever.
Fucking nasty. Just haven't finished yet. What have we got? 270. 275, we can do that.
Ooh-wee.
Ouch. Hershey's. Oh, that's enough of that nonsense.
276.60.
What was that about patrons? Ow.
We were going to go to the Kata Tjuta, the Olgas sunset spot tonight, but we knew we weren't going to make it, so we've come instead to the Uluru sunrise spot. We'll be back here tomorrow morning for sunrise, but anyway, we've met up with a couple of other van lifers here, roaming red, Belle and Meegs, and they said they'd gone rogue and they were coming here. So when we realised we didn't have enough time to get to Kata Tjuta, we decided to come here. So once the sun does dip below, we should get some really beautiful colours behind Uluru. Nigel is in this eternal search to find rattles, squeaks, bumps. So what have you been doing today, babe? Just give us a bit of a rundown on the so far.
We'll come back to that. So, because it's inherently dangerous working outside today, the flies are ferocious. I'm working inside because I'm getting molested by flies. So I'm having a go at de-rattling the cupboards. Instead of wood on wood, I've got Velcro on Velcro. I haven't got a before and after, but take it from me, that's a lot better than, I can't do it because it's in that.
Yeah, it was bad. And the shower is now the main rattle, isn't it? Not good.
Bad news.
We fixed a spice rack by stuffing it full of all these things. stuffed, Velcro around things there. We've fixed the pantry, the pull-out pantry, by putting things inside stubby holders, making stubby holders, and putting them on this rubber mat.
And I stuck in a magnetic latch down the bottom.
When we fix this shower, we're going to have the most silent van in all of Australia.
Don't you believe it?
Poor Nigel. So here we are, it's 6:15 and we're in line waiting to get into the Uluru National Park. Who knew that they didn't open till 6:30? Not us. We're trying to get to Kata Tjuta, the Olgas, for sunrise. It's my birthday.
Touch and go, won't it? Touch and go now.
Yeah. It's probably only 20 minutes from here, so we should, hopefully. Cross fingers, friends. We thought we'd get up nice and early and get here and, Look at this sunrise over the Olgas. This one here. Today we are at the beautiful Kata Tjuta, otherwise known as the Olgas, and this is a series of rock monoliths, just like Uluru, but smaller. And we're going to be doing a hike today called the Valley of the Winds. It's about 7 kilometres, it's supposed to take about 4 hours, so I think it's a fairly challenging hike. Well, these domes are just incredible, and the name Kata Tjuta, which is the Anangu name for the Olgas, means many heads. And this is a sacred place to the Anangu, and they would always camp a fair way away and be very respectful when they came in. So the same is asked of us. We don't climb on the domes and we treat this place with respect. Nigel went back down the hill to get the camera. God love him. Now he's coming up. It's hard, like this is steep. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe I'll go sideways. It's almost hands and knees, it's that steep. So we've just noticed that unlike Uluru, which is pretty much a single piece of granite, the rock of Kata Tjuta is like conglomerates, like all these little rocks cemented into the big rock. And I've just figured out why this hike is called the Valley of the Winds. Because as we're climbing up this little, I don't know, what do you call it, like a saddle or something, in between these two domes, you can really feel the breeze. It's actually gotten a bit chilly. Oh my gosh, this lookout is incredible. And now we go down. So all the way along this section of trail, they're doing work, and we've noticed these white bags everywhere. You can see a whole bunch of them further up the trail there. Now, obviously nobody carries these in here because they're very heavy, but they're helicoptered in. And of course, this is the sort of work that Nigel does. So he's just been telling me. So,
well, yeah, well, the bags are rated to 1,000 kgs, so a tonne, and so I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be 800 kgs of rocks in there. And I've lifted similar to this, you know, over the years, and yeah, so they just dot them along the track, and the boys are probably helicoptered in here onto various pads located around the park, and then they do their work and they get picked up later on in the day.
So we just stopped in this little shelter shed for lunch, and there's also water there, which is obviously good. This is another one of those hikes that closes at 11 a.m. on days where it's going to be over 36 degrees. So if you're here at any other time than the dead of winter like we are, you want to make sure that you get out nice and early on this hike, because there's not much shade other than when you're actually in the valley. Good morning, everybody. We've just woken up. It's actually the day that we...
It's 8 o'clock.
We've woken up so early for the last 3 days to get up and see sunrises of Uluru and Kata Tjuta.
It's caught up to us.
Yeah. And today we're going to head back to Alice Springs. We've stayed in the same place each night we've been here, which is an unofficial free camp. We're not going to tell you exactly where it is. It's not even on Wikicamps, but if you're coming to Uluru, you can't miss it. And it's quite close, but we weren't sure if you would be able to see Uluru from here or not. So we woke up this morning and I took down the shield from the bed, and sure enough, we can see it right out the window. There it is. And further to our lack of drone footage in our recent posts, we do now have the Northern Territory Parks drone permit. Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park is not administered by the Northern Territory. It's a federally administered park, and there's no flying of drones anywhere in the park. So we haven't been able to put the drone up yet. We're going to put the drone up now to check out the view of Uluru.
We hope that you have enjoyed this video as much as we have loved our time in Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park.
Thanks so much for watching this episode. Please give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because we've got more great videos coming your way as we head north and continue our journey in the Northern Territory. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you next time.